Hello, and welcome to today's presentation on converting commercial real estate into residential real estate. My name is Elaine Huang, and I am bringing you this presentation from Blake Law Firm. Our office has a reputation of representing property owners, commercial and residential, in complex projects, including rezoning, redevelopment, and leasing, and a variety of litigation matters. We bring our deep experience working with residential and commercial entities to this presentation today to speak specifically about a phenomenon that has taken California by storm. It is the conversion of underused commercial properties into residential housing. There's no surprise with recent trends of commercial property dealing with hurdles of abandonment or less occupancy. Meanwhile, California residential units have strong demand. Some residential property owners have taken it upon themselves to look into the rezoning process whereby commercial real estate can be transformed for residential use. Today, we'll look at the overall process across California and then dive in more specifically to look at a case in Los Angeles by reviewing three specific buildings that has changed the scheme of their business plan through the Adaptive Reuse Ordinance, or ARO, in Los Angeles. Commercial properties, whether it's the owners of offices or warehouses or retail spaces. In the last few years, many owners have found themselves with the dilemma of abandoned spaces or lower occupancy. A solution to address that problem lies in the rezoning process of converting commercial real estate into residential use. So, what does that look like in California? We break it down into four steps. First and foremost, the most important is research. You start off the first step of looking into that specific jurisdiction's zoning laws. Where your building is specifically may have county regulations that are specific to commercial properties in that district, and the requirements may differ across California's various counties. After you've done your due diligence or retained a good counsel to do the due diligence for you, property owners can move on to step two, which is filing an actual application. When you do file the application, you want to be prepared with the necessary documents to build a strong case for yourself. Hence why it's so important to do your research so you know what documents will make your application stronger. When you submit your rezoning application, you can expect to provide documents that may explain to the city why the conversion is beneficial and provide very specific documents so that you can prove the site plans are safe and the conversion is feasible. For example, you may want to provide detailed site plans. You may want to already possess environmental review documents, and you may want to provide supporting studies you've done that strengthen your application. Once you've submitted the application, the case will be presented to the government. The parties involved are government decision makers that may involve the planning staff, the commission, city council, and also the county board. Once the hard part of waiting for the decision is over, you will be met with the final decision from the county of whether your commercial building will be rezoned for residential use. And what that looks like is the county will update the zoning map so that it reflects that building is now properly used as a residential real estate zone. And then once you understand those basic steps, we can dive deeper into the specific example of Los Angeles, where there are different development standards in Los Angeles than there are in other counties, like San Diego or Orange County, which is why you need to understand each jurisdiction requires its own due diligence. The due diligence can make your application so much more effective because if you don't know the hurdles you have to jump over during the application process, you will run into them during the application process, and by then having to supplement your application with environmental reports or additional site plans will only delay the grand scheme of the project, allowing the unfortunate delay would only put off the success of your building being used as a future residential hub. So do the due diligence, look at the development standards at each county in the beginning so that you're prepared. In Los Angeles specifically, the ARO ordinance has allowed buildings from prior to July 1st, 1974 to be deemed eligible for rezoning, regardless of the building's current height, floor area, setbacks, and even the open space of a project. The city may not have as much bureaucracy in reviewing a commercial building's application if that building meets the satisfies the specific requirement of being from before July 1st, 1974. And that's just Los Angeles, but you can see how in these three examples alone, the downtown area of Los Angeles County has been revitalized. Let's take a look specifically at the Pegasus Apartments, which was once the Mobil Oil building. Now it's home to over 300 residential units. The National City Tower, which in 1924 was a bank building and has lost some of its traction as a commercial building, was rezoned into a commercial building that now has 93 units for residential use. And last but not least, take a look at the beautiful Spring Arcade building we have here and see how this once shopping arcade was revitalized and converted into over 140 different residences, changing its entire impact on Los Angeles County from a beautiful shopping arcade to a now hub of residences. If you are a commercial landlord and this conversion process may interest you and could benefit the grand scheme of making the most out of your commercial investment, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at the Blake Law Firm. Again, my name is Elaine Huang, and it has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you about the conversion of commercial property. And hopefully, if you are a commercial real estate owner, you can see the potential of this rezoning process. If you want to look more into Blake Law or the other attorneys at our law firm, please feel free to reach out to us at www.blakelawca.com. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.